Chapter 1302. The MC smiled and said, "Oh, I didn't expect Miss Reeves to be so touched. The marriage must have been long awaited. This is really a match made by God, consensual, and made in heaven. Let us all wish the couple a happy new marriage and love each other with applause. A bright future and a safe life." Kate almost collapsed when she heard this, squatting on the ground, burying her face deep in her arms, crying. The MC picked it up and said with emotion, "It seems that our bride is very excited. Let us interview our groom. May I ask Mr. Hugh Bale, how do you feel about being able to marry such a young and beautiful wife?" Hugh Bale chuckled and said, "I am very excited." The MC smiled and asked, "Then Mr. Hugh Bale, do you have the urge to chant a poem?" Hugh Bale said with embarrassment, "I haven't gone to much school, I don't have much culture, so let's just not chant poems." The MC said again, "Today the parents of our bride, Kate, have also arrived at our wedding. I would like to ask the groom, Mr. Hugh Bale, do you have anything to say to your future mother-in-law and father-in-law?" Hugh Bale looked at the audience. Matt Reeves and his wife, whose expressions were crying without tears, waved at them with a little restraint, and said, "Please rest assured, I will definitely face the quiet." There's one more sentence, Hugh Bale wanted to ask, but he was ashamed to ask. He wanted to ask Reeves, his future father-in-law, whether the $60 million dowry that he said before counts. But he was afraid that after he asked this sentence, Mr. Reeves would come up to hammer himself, so he could only give up. At this time, the MC said to Matt Reeves and his wife, "Come on, let's invite our bride's parents to come on stage." The Bale family has become a blank applause machine at this time. Matt Reeves could only go on stage with his wife. The master of ceremonies smiled and said, "Please ask the man's father-in-law to stand in front of our groom." Matt Reeves and his wife stood in front of Hugh Bale with unnatural expressions. The MC smiled and said, "Groom officer, I ask you, who's yours standing in front of you?" Hugh Bale hurriedly said, "It's my father-in-law." The MC smiled and said, "Is it still called father-in-law? Should I change my tongue?" Hugh Bale smirked grievously, and said hurriedly, "Yes, it should be changed." With that said, he hurriedly called out to Matt Reeves and his wife, "Dad, Mom." Matt Reeves's face was extremely ugly. This bastard, who is about the same age as himself, calls himself Dad. Although I don't have a son, I don't want such a cheap son. Seeing that he did not respond, the MC hurriedly said, "Is it a bit too excited to be a parent? I forgot to respond to the bridegroom officer when I was excited." This is the first time the bridegroom officer changed his words. "Isn't the father-in-law showing anything?" Matt Reeves said with a gloomy expression, "I was in a hurry to go out today and forgot to prepare the red envelope." Hugh Bale said hurriedly, it's okay, red envelopes are forgotten." The MC said with a smile, "Since he has changed his mouth, the groom should knock his head and bring a cup of tea to his father-in-law and mother-in-law, and let our staff bring the tea." Hugh Bale asked grievously, "Cow your head?"